One thing I tell people to brace themselves for is a lot of disappointments. A lot of disappointments, which is character building, by the way, because our reaction should wane with the disappointments as they come. So you have the disappointment. You shouldn't be, oh my gosh, you're wounded up by these disappointments. No, we have to see the disappointments after a while and okay, pray about it. Just lean on God. It's not easy. Easier said than done. Easier said than done, but it just is what it is. Like the no rain.
Right, the no rain is a big thing, and other things. I mean, can go to think about the lack of connectivity. So you may have poor cell signal, which means that you have to go certain places to make phone call. There's also poor internet access. Everybody needs internet these days,
Right.
for work or for just communication or what have you. So we have a lot of issues with internet here. So don't expect to get the same kind of speed or the same sort of reliable connection that you are used to in the town. So sometimes you come home, maybe you're not going to be able to have internet until you go back into the town.
Yeah, that's what happens to us a lot.
Every single month, there is not a day that there's at least a couple of days that we just don't have connection.
There are more days than not that we don't have connection for us. And it's weird because our neighbors use the same internet and they have connection.
So yeah,
I don't know what it is, and so we've just gotten accustomed to it. This is what it is. We've also especially coming out of COVID, there are more Zoom stuff, right? Meetings and stuff. We've realized that it's hard for us because you even have church having programs and they'll say, "Hey, we'll do it online," and I cannot be a part of it. I can't say yes because I am going to not be able to be a part of that.
We just don't know. And then there's also more frequent, at least that's what I experienced. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like we get more power outages.
Well, we live in Jamaica, so there are countries that don't have power outages like that. Because in America, they don't really have.
Very, very rarely.
Very rarely, right? But in Jamaica, we have power outages, and in the rural area, there's just more
and longer too.
Yes.
Like I feel like they try to get it back quicker, which makes sense. You have
and
hospitals, you
places.
have businesses and stuff. So there is more urgency to get it restored in those places, especially after a disaster. But it happens on a regular basis, even when it's a regular day.
Right. No, but speaking of the utilities, you have to think about the water. So you have to think about road accessibility. You have to think about the water. You have to think about what utilities, what's the reliability of the utilities. If not, you have to make certain provisions. So if you don't have any electricity where you're going, you have to think about an alternative power source. If you don't have any water, you have to either have a tank or dig a well or
make sure if you have water on the property, like a river or a stream or something, you can harvest water from.
So yeah, that's something you have to think about when you go into the country. You have to think about all of those things, right?
And we're not complaining, but we're just trying to, I guess, set the expectation that sometimes you will come to a new setting and you see all these things and you become overwhelmed, maybe even disappointed, and you're wondering, what am I doing? All these things. But you remember when Moses left Egypt, I'm sure he had a similar experience when he was in the desert, in the wilderness.
He was
for the 40, when he met his wife and in Midian and so forth. So I'm sure it was kind of a change in speed for sure. He's used to a lot of, he's coming from the palace, so he's used to a lot of accessibility, a lot of connectivity,
food readily available,
servants and all these, everything that Egypt had to offer at the time, he had access to. But he had to go through the process of unlearning all of that for the 40 years before he was even fit to go and lead. And that is what helped him when he was leading the children of Israel, because they were such a difficult bunch to deal with. So.
Not only that, he had to bring them back through the wilderness, so he knew the disappointments already.
He was already prepared.
When you think about it, even Mara, I always imagine that he already knew that the water was bitter. So he was going, people run to them see water, and he's like, "Oh my word, I know that there's this water is," but he knows what's coming. So it helps you. It's in the same way that we are preparing, because they were preparing for Canaan, promised land. We're preparing for heaven. So the country is supposed to bring us through these disappointments, these hardships, to prepare us for heaven. Christ came on earth, he went through hardships. We can't expect to overcome them. And if we, the verse says basically, if we try to save our life, we will lose it. Mm-hmm. If we lose our life, coming to the country, doing things we don't like,
for my sake,
then we'll find it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.